Get some 8% seltzer shipped right to your house. The peach, the lemon lime, the strawberry shortcake, and the blue raspberry. No carbs, no sugars, no gluten if you give a shit about that. We are live in over 100 stores in Tennessee. More just opened up. Go to hardafseltzer.com today and check your store locator or order them right to your house.
Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by GhostBed.com.
Yeah, welcome to the Monday morning recap, everybody. We're early. This is the earliest we've ever gone.
This is a disturbingly
earliest
early.
we've ever gone.
It's called efficiency.
Sure is. Brought to you by MyBookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros doubles your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. MyBookie. You're going to find a different email address from me, putting in my own promo code tomorrow because I lost all of the money on yesterday's games. My God, dude.
Wait, what games
got
were yesterday?
housed. I don't know.
There were games.
There was games. There was a couple. There was one game yesterday. The other one was not a game whatsoever. Which one do you want to start with here? The one with the headless horseman for
yeah,
for
that's
the
fine.
49ers?
We'll start with the 49ers-Eagles. We'll go in chronological order, I guess. I thought it was honestly, I don't think the 49ers would have been able to win this game under any circumstances. There's like serious problems on that team.
I mean, their quarterback had 100% completion.
Yeah,
They sure did. It was 4 for 4.
But there's system where you can put any quarterback in and they can do moderately well, and I think that's what they have. But, you know, it would have been moderately well against an Eagles team that was going to fucking trounce them anyways.
And, I mean, you had a 15-year veteran at quarterback come in. That's a luxury right there.
Yeah, a 15-year veteran, 2 snaps in his career,
He's
I think.
played for 16 different teams.
Veteran
I
is
believe he
so-
played for a team called the Sacramento Cougars or Mountain
Argonauts
Lions.
or some shit.
Yeah. Sure did.
Yeah, but it's
Sure
like
did.
despite the injuries to their quarterbacks on the 49ers side, and look, they did the best, I guess, with what they had. The Eagles executed their own game plan perfectly. You and I went back and forth on the Facebook group last night about it. The 49ers this season, 15-0 when they have less than 2 turnovers. And when they have 2 turnovers or more, 0 in the world. They've never won a game, right? So that's the secret for them, is protecting the football. And it wasn't just because Purdy was out that they weren't protecting the football. They lost the ball. They made dumb plays, right?
I don't know if they did. I mean, look, I'm looking at it. So the turnover that he had was on that hit. Great hit, clean hit, nothing wrong with the hit whatsoever.
But that
was a turnover.
That's the Eagles game. That's what they were trying to do. They know that they're not going to – well, everybody knows they're not going to come out against the 49ers and rush for 150 yards or throw for 300. This is not going to happen.
It's the best defense in football.
There's no offense. The Chiefs aren't going to come out there and go that hard against the 49ers defense. So what you do is you play the field position game and you try to get turnovers.
Reddick was a monster.
Yeah, I mean, they fucking – Sirianni played the shit perfectly. It was one of the best coach games that I've seen all season.
But the Chiefs did that to this 49ers defense, and
Not-
they fucking destroyed them.
Not in the playoffs, though, right? Like, that shit isn't happening in the playoffs.
Sure, but I mean, I'm watching this game and I can't figure it out. I hate things that I can't figure out, and I can't figure out this Eagles team. I'm looking at Hurts, 15 for 25, 121 yards. 30 of that was on a drop ball. So take that out.
Listen.
He threw for 80 yards passing in this game.
Yeah.
They ain't playing nobody, pal. All right? I look at their strength of schedule. Philadelphia Eagles.
Ain't played.
They ain't playing nobody, pal. They are cupcake schedule. They should, in my BCS ranking, they're not even in top 10.
Who is the impression you're doing right now?
Just anybody from Alabama.
Anybody calling into Paul Feinbaum? Yeah.
Anybody calling it Paul Feinbaum? See, I mean, look, you have that. So he threw for about 80 yards. You don't have one single running back who cracked 50 yards.
No, you got 3 runners with at least 1 touchdown.
You do, but they had the ball on the 30 every fucking
That's the
play.
game. This
No,
was
no,
their-
it wasn't.
Listen.
Fourth down, they had to go for it over and over and over.
Anytime you can get a spark from a man named Kenneth, you got to.
Gainwell fucking rushed for 160 last week.
Yeah, he was great, too, in
dude's-
this game.
He's becoming the Tony Pollard of the Eagles right now.
Our offense was a little kind of sputtered a little bit till Gainwell started to pop off.
It was pretty jammed up.
We were at the bar watching the game for the first half before I had to leave it, and I told you like halfway through the second quarter, I was like, I don't love how the Eagles look so far.
No.
I don't either.
No.
And because it was a mucked up game, you weren't moving the ball very well. Neither were the Niners.
Yeah.
But like, I was just like, I don't fucking know. I feel like the Eagles should have more points. And but then all hell broke loose.
Of course. And everybody obviously put the spotlight on Lane Johnson being the greatest false starter of all time.
Oh my God, he was false starting on every fucking snap.
That's what literally every tackle does in the league. It's not really a false start. You're allowed to like kick your foot back before the ball snaps. He like every tackle gets away with it. He's elite at it.
Well, I do think part of the problem was he stood out just because he was wearing like it was the bright white pants.
Yeah, you got
like
to fucking. That's what John Madden used to talk about this shit all the time. Like if you're an offensive lineman especially, and you're going up against a defense. If they're wearing solid color, do not wear white tape on your hands because they're going to see holding every single time. Madden used to talk about that shit all the time. It's just gamesmanship. And by the way, I think what is unquestionable from this game is that what a lot of people have been talking about the last couple of weeks, to me it is an iron law at this point. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line is the best unit in football of any unit that exists, better than any fucking linebacker core, better than any fucking edge rushing. They are really fucking good.
But you know who ranks number one as far as league rankings? Offensive line.
The Chiefs?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say,
one.
dude, like Mahomes didn't get touched.
Nope. Chiefs are
Very rarely does he ever get touched.
number one, so that's going to be fun to watch at least because you'll have the best O-line against the best, probably, second best D-line behind the 49ers, I would say. Right?
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah.
Back to the stats, though. Receiving-wise, it wasn't a Philadelphia receiver with 40 yards even in this game.
But this, I mean, this was never going to be a pretty statistical game.
No,
they were like the Eagles' game plan to play basically half court, right?
Also, the most important catch of the game was not a catch.
That's right. Yeah, but that was fucking. We'll get to that in a sec. That's Shanahan fucking up. Again, 4 out of 7 years, he's made stupid decisions that have cost his team playoff games in the fucking NFC or the conference championship or later.
And I said it last week.
3 times in the conference championship, 1 time in the
He
Super Bowl.
coached like shit last week with the clock management and everything else, and I go, watch for that this time. Obviously, there's nothing you can do about your fucking
nothing really not on him when you're down to your 4th-string quarterback.
No, it's not. But that play call right there, not challenging that.
Yes.
It's got to come from upstairs, though. Like,
no,
Devontae played it pretty well.
Because of where it is on the field.
It was 4th down.
It's 4th and 3, and where it is on the field, you challenge it even if you lose your fucking challenge. You can't let that go.
Cannot, because then you're on the 10, and then you can score, which they did. And it was very, very important that they did because if they didn't, there's a good shot that this probably goes in at halftime at 7-7.
Or at least 10-7.
Yeah.
Right? Which is probably where it should have been at halftime.
Because the other part where Shanahan fucked up was, all right, so Purdy gets knocked out 7 minutes into the game. Or 5, that was 7:03. In the first quarter, they bring in Josh Johnson, who I had no idea who this person was. I had to look him up.
University of San Diego.
Yeah.
Not even San Diego State.
Had to look him up.
Like, he has a second job.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
Right.
I was like,
he's a practice squad guy, probably, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
Like he's like the Kurt Warner story minus all the good parts.
Right. Here's the thing, though. Like, if we're going to add an extra game to the schedule, and obviously injuries are going to be all over the NFL, how can we not expand the roster so you can carry 3 quarterbacks?
I thought about that the entire weekend. Same with college football because you're starting to add all these games to both college and the NFL. There's too many fucking injuries. I mean, and the second game was even
You're telling me
proof.
Blake Bortles can't come in for that 49ers team and be the savior of the franchise?
But how about this? Why was Josh Johnson your choice 8 weeks ago to be the backup quarterback? So when Garoppolo goes down and he's out for the year,
you know Garoppolo's dead.
He's dead. He's not coming back. Right. You have Purdy, who's 3rd. You don't have a 4th, and that's the guy you sign to back up a brand new rookie for the last pick of the draft.
They could have got Baker, I guess.
Could have got Cam Newton. Remember we talked about this on the show weeks ago.
Or just make a trade for another good backup, right? Send like a 7th-round pick for some dog shit team.
Chase Daniel is available.
Literally.
Yes.
But
anyone.
Josh Johnson's just Chase Daniel. Just darker.
But Cam
Chase
Newton.
Daniel was a Heisman finalist. It's not the same. Like
we talked about Cam Newton on this show when that happened. It was like, why not just go and get Cam?
I think Cam's shoulder is really fucked.
I think
for life.
Well, so here's the other part of this. I think Hurts' shoulder is really fucked. The biggest surprise to me was that he rushed for 11 times, and it was all in the second half.
Yeah, it wasn't great, especially when we got up to a big lead, and my dad texted me like, "Why are we rushing Jalen right now?"
Yeah.
Like,
every time he rushed the ball, I
holding
winced.
his shoulder. Yeah,
well, and I winced because I was like, Why are you putting him in harm's way? Just hand it off to the running back. What is going on there, and what was the decision to have him run the ball 11 fucking times in the second half?
He's playing hurt.
Wait, hold on. Can I just say really quick, how fucking funny would it be if the most watched event of the year ended up being Minshew versus Henny? Like they both just get banged up
close
in the first. They both get hurt in the first half, and we have to watch Gardner Minshew and Chad Henne duel it out.
Mahomes with 2 weeks to kind of let that ankle heal. I think he'll be fine. He'll be like 95%.
Maybe.
Especially with treatment like every day.
Yeah. And maybe they put a walking boot on him for a week and a half so he can't do anything.
Yeah.
So he's stuck there. The biggest stat to me that stood out for this entire game was truly how great the 49ers defense is. I know we've sucked their dick on this show forever, but to be on the field for 40 minutes, that was the possession time, 40-20, only give up technically 239 yards of offense. Those guys are elite. In my opinion, if you're the 49ers or a fan of the 49ers, go get Rodgers or Brady.
Anybody.
Anyone, put them in.
Yeah.
You will win for the next 3 years just with this defense. You've got to keep this defense together.
Now, with Purdy, was this like a Colt McCoy situation where he just like literally couldn't feel his arm?
Identical. I was at that game, and it was the exact same thing.
Well, it's a UCL sprain, right? So you feel pins and needles, and that's it.
Yeah.
It sucks. Right?
So everyone
I did it on accident one time. I was really fucked up. We were driving. I was in the passenger seat, obviously. I was being picked up from somewhere. I think I was 19 at the time. And I reached out. We were going like 50 miles per hour, probably maybe 40. And there were traffic cones, just the small ones. And I reached out and slapped one. And then I guess I didn't really take physics into account. And my arm was numb for like 2 days.
So your arm's just dead, right?
Yeah,
so
you can't-
everyone's
you
calling
can
him a
move it and
pussy. It's
shit.
like he can't throw the ball, man. He can't feel his
throw the
arm.
ball.
Well, it's not. Pussy's not even. It doesn't even come into it. It doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt. Yeah.
You can't feel anything. And
No,
how the
you
fuck are
can-
you supposed to throw the goddamn ball?
You can
like
shovel
that?
it essentially about 5 yards, but you have no feeling in your fingertips, so you can't grip. You can't do anything else. I've had the same thing, and it's unexplainable.
Yeah.
It's almost like a funny bone.
It's like when you fall asleep on your arm.
Yeah.
And then you
doesn't
wake up.
wake
And
up.
yeah. Do you think he went and like jerked off?
I hope
He
so.
should have.
I hope
Right?
so.
He
tried
should have.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's the best time
As
to
soon
do it.
as soon as he knew he wasn't going to play, you just spend the rest of the time in the bathroom.
Well, then Johnson gets a concussion, and he has to come back.
Yeah,
in.
he's in
God.
there.
I couldn't believe it.
They walk into the fucking locker room, and he's got his legs kicked back over his head, pounding off into his own face. And like, Brock, you got to suit back up, bro.
Man, you got it. What?
like-
Man, I just started jerking
I was
off.
almost going to come, man.
They kept saying like Christian McCaffrey's the emergency quarterback.
Well, he went in. Did you see him throw it? He threw a pass.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Just go Wildcat at that point.
At that
what are you
point,
even
just-
doing?
well, you have to
They
throw.
tried Wildcat. They tried all of it. If you can't throw, you can't throw. And then the route was on after that because then at fourth down, they had to go for it every single time.
Yeah.
So the Eagles had the ball in the 30, hence the yardage and all that other stuff for,
That all
for
sucks.
these guys.
But the 49ers also had 11 penalties for 81 yards, and a lot of them happened in fucking critical moments.
Yep.
First half
You know what I
too.
mean?
Yep.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
they were still in the game,
Yeah,
we
it's
got
like-
bailed out a lot.
Man,
Yeah.
not bailed out by the refs, which is what happened in the Kansas City game. We'll get to that. in a minute.
We'll get to that in a minute.
But you were, like the Eagles got bailed out by the 49ers multiple times, just on stupid fucking plays too.
Like
take-
face mask here.
take that drive at the
Yeah.
end of the first half. If you've got a guy who hasn't played in years and years and probably bags groceries on the side, there's a minute and 30 left. It's 14-7. Why send him down the field to try to score a game-tying touchdown or something like that? Go to half down by one score. Instead, ball gets snapped to him, hits him right in the fucking hands, and then boom, right to the Eagles. Then they go up 21-7. That didn't make any sense to me.
Reddick almost got another fumble recovery
Sure
where he
did.
like took it straight out of his
that
hands.
was definitely a fumble.
I thought it was.
I did too.
I
thought it was a fumble as well.
I think the rest were just like, oh man,
Like, come on.
give them a break.
Yeah, it's like they need to. The game needs
They don't
to
have
be
a
somewhat
quarterback
competitive.
anymore.
And by the way, Johnson is still just a beggar's apprentice at Safeway.
Oh
so.
yeah. He's not
Yeah.
a journeyman bagger.
I
Yeah.
would kill to have his career. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
He's
We're just
probably
making it- it's
rich.
just funny.
Yes,
He's
that dude's
probably-
got a couple mil in the
he's
bank.
fine. He's doing all right.
He played for 15 different NFL
Yes,
teams.
he's made
so-
he's
Let's
made
look
his
it up on
nut.
Spot Rack.
Yeah, I'm no lie. 15 different NFL teams, an AFL team,
Yeah, he's been making six figs.
an XFL team when
Yep.
that was only a thing for 3 games.
Probably a USFL team.
I would be shocked if he's made 7 figures for more than 2 or 3 years. But he has made a good living for sure.
Yes.
There was that season where he played in the
Tampa Bay?
the XFL, and then the Canadian League as well. So he
Yes.
had 2 paychecks that year.
Yeah, I sure did. Sure did.
He played at the University of San Diego. He could never have dreamed of such a career.
Probably not. I wonder what his wealth is.
Career
like.
earnings $8.5 million.
All right.
Yeah.
Great life.
Would love that.
Great life.
There you
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
I'm not shitting on you, Josh Johnson.
And
if you're
before this, how many
listening.
how many snaps did he have?
He's thrown the ball. Hold on. 355 attempts. So
Oh, that's
in the
decent.
NFL.
over the course of 15 years? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Good
But
for
he
you.
was
Mostly in Tampa, right?
2009 to 13, he was in the NFL, and then 14 to 17, he was out of the NFL. 18, he's back. 19 and 20, he's out. 21 and 22, he's back.
For real, I have no idea who the Sacramento Mountain Lions are. What is that league?
It's like
I don't
probably
know.
a semi-pro league.
Arena?
Something crazy. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. There is an arena team on there. So
Okay.
Again, it's the Kurt Warner story without
It's,
all the good parts.
yeah.
It's in the United Football League.
Oh, the UFL,
the
of course.
UFL. Holy shit.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
It was.
UFL or UFSL?
UFL.
Good lord.
Yeah.
I hate these fucking.
They
all
played at
leagues.
AT&T Park for a while.
Good for them.
Straight up. There's nothing.
boy.
Bring
worse.
it back.
No.
We need more football.
Well, you saw it. The commercials during
USFL,
the thing.
yeah.
It's
Football's
coming
still
on.
going.
Still going. No, it's not. It's over.
So
after
Well,
they
Donald
actually-
Trump killed the original USFL.
They actually started
which
as
was
the
actually a real
California
thing.
Redwoods and then switched to the Sacramento Mountain Lions.
Ah, shit. Look at that.
I don't know why. Maybe
Good for those
big mountain
guys.
lion got involved.
Yeah, I think so.
tree or something like that. Either way, look, we got the outcome. We got the teams we wanted, but the ways that they each got there are super fucked up. We'll move on to the Bengals-Chiefs game. Look, Pat Mahomes is the greatest quarterback I've seen in my lifetime. I don't know how he played a whole fucking game on one leg like that.
On one leg, missing 3 receivers.
Yeah.
By the end of it, he didn't have any.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They kept going out, and Kelsey wasn't even healthy.
Right.
Yeah, Kelsey was 2 hours before game time, hospital the night before.
Hated that. That was a bit of a heat check for your boy yesterday. Heard
Oh, yeah,
Kelsey was
so-
going to miss the game from everyone at the bar, so I put a big boy stack on the Bengals.
Lost on the Bengals
We
as well.
were recording Softcore History, and he was watching the game. And so just live on the Patreon episode is Dan losing $1,000. It was pretty great.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, but
He just
before
kept
we were
stopping to watch.
we were at the bar earlier, and Rob's like, "What would you pay to see the Eagles just get to the Super Bowl?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like $1,500." So yeah, I essentially paid that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Paid the-
rationalize it however you want,
Sure.
but that's not how it went down.
No, and I'm not. I'm in the same misery with you here. I lost on the Bengals. Now I bet this game. I bet both games based on injuries, and the injuries did not prevent either of these teams from winning here.
Well, there was another injury that you bet on the side of,
Which one?
which is that the Bengals' offensive line was 3/4 or like 3/5 gone.
Oh yeah. But the game before, and then they rolled the Bills, and I
Right.
was like, all right,
Yeah.
well maybe these guys are pretty fucking good. And then Joe Burrow gets sacked 6 fucking times.
3
in this
straight
game.
plays.
Yeah, but
I-
the Bills,
that was insane.
the Bills don't have a run defense. Kansas City is a pretty complete defense.
They are, but
Who was the dude on the D line that was just going after Burrow all night?
Chris
Jones.
Chris
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, who's
God
probably the
damn it.
defensive player of the year.
Well, he got his first.
He'll be
career
second.
playoff
He'll be
sack.
second or third. Yeah,
He'll be second behind
He had
Bosa,
16 and a
but-
half sacks. I think Bosa had 18 and a half, so
Yeah.
Bosa will win. But yeah, he had a great year.
Yeah, but in this game,
What are you doing?
Mahomes.
That's
got
not how
things
that
up.
thing works.
This thing sucks and it doesn't get a grip, so I got to ply it out a little bit.
Where's
You
that wooden
can't
one?
use anything. Like whatever
No.
he touches, just
Bob.
Ever since the birth
fine.
of the
You got
second child, he's really been struggling in all aspects
I'm just
of
a
life.
doofy dad now.
like your motor functions are just leaving you.
I slip
Anyway.
on ice. I can't get erections.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, clearly
who
you
needs him?
can.
who needs him? Yeah.
agree.
Well, every
this-
time he gets an erection, he has another child. So
Yeah. Maybe it's good
Time
that
to
you're
put it
over
down,
with.
yeah.
Burrow is in a lot of trouble in Cincinnati.
Is he, or is it just that line? He
It's
still almost won this game.
It's the line. It shows you how fucking great of a player he is to just get fucking wrecked for the entire game and still be able to at least keep his team in it. As a matter of fact, the game should have gone to overtime, right?
Yeah.
And here's why. That hit out of bounds was stupid. It's not a mistake. That's undisciplined stupidity is what that is. But
there were slight touching, which you can't do.
he was
2 feet
like
out
a
of
yard
bounds.
and a half out
Yeah.
of bounds at that point.
It is a flag.
was
However,
proper call,
is
but it was so
discretionary
soft.
for the referee.
No,
and Patty sold it.
Patty
yeah,
Savage.
of course
Yeah,
he did.
big
Yeah, he
time.
rolled around like fucking LeBron James on that play. But
Go to the Super Bowl, you do that play.
yeah, sure. But if you watch the left guard and left tackle, right,
Yep.
for the Chiefs held 2 different players within 3 yards of each other.
That was worse.
Right in front of God and everybody.
And then also the kick return right before. There's a block in the back.
Yeah.
I
mean, this is some
don't
of the
get in the
worst.
way of a good story.
How about the penalty flag, though, where the back judge came in and just kind of waved his arms and then was like, well, no, we're good. They let a full play go on 3rd down, and then they let them do it over again, and then they got a first down.
Yeah, the Bengals got a couple first downs on 5th down. So
yeah.
So before this game, when they announced the officiating crew, one of the guys we used to work with, Brian McGannon, who's a huge Chiefs fan, like the biggest KC guy in the world. I don't really follow NFL officiating. I don't give a fuck. But I saw him quote tweet it and just in all caps with a question mark. How? Because like everyone was anticipating this game to be shittily officiated. Like it was a bad crew. It's like when in the playoffs, right? If you see like Angel Hernandez on the fucking call, and you're just like, why? Why is this guy?
Or the NBA, you get Joey Crawford in the NBA Finals.
You're like, no,
it's like the Joey
no.
Crawford show. Let's go.
Yeah. At one point, I think I blurted out. We had some kid function and some neighbors over. I blurted out, use your fucking words. Like that guy couldn't even talk into the microphone either. Like the whole thing was a goddamn mess last night.
The moment was too big for him.
It appears to be.
They made quite a few mistakes that cost Cincinnati the game. I mean, Cincinnati got a couple of calls too.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think Cincinnati lost again because of these calls straight up, but it didn't help.
No, Burrow still had his shot to win the game with about 1:40
had
left.
A couple timeouts.
Had a couple timeouts.
Yeah, but that pass rush was too much.
You're on 10.
Once you're down like that, look, they mismanaged the Bengals' last drive when he threw that pick. That was fucking terrible. The entire execution there. Like, you can't get your fucking offensive line to stand up for one series, really?
It was essentially a punt, though.
Yeah, so I don't mind the last pick. The first one was terrible.
I don't mind the pick. What I mind is they should have been able to move the fucking ball down the field.
It was a bad drive.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like, the execution was really bad.
Yeah.
They didn't run the right kind of plays. The intentional grounding thing was kind of dumb, to be honest. Like, you get out of the pocket or throw it or something, man. That was dumb.
But I mean, homeboy that got the penalty on Mahomes the previous drive, he's the one that made the big time tackle to force them to punt and give Cincinnati the ball back.
No, Osai.
Yeah.
He was having a good game.
22-year-old, by the way, rookie.
Yeah.
And I mean,
he's very good.
broke down.
Did
in
you
the
see the
locker room.
video of that guy following him into the locker room, the other Bengals player?
Yeah.
He's like, how the fuck you touched the quarterback?
A guy who's like a role player.
Yeah.
Like, relax.
Yeah, exactly.
That was his only.
Exactly. I don't pin it on that kid at all.
Here's my question to Bengals fans, because it was trending on Twitter last night.
What's that?
Rigged.
Oh, all day today too.
And here's my question:
Bengals fans, I'm with you here.
Why,
but for a different reason,
would the NFL want Kansas City over Cincinnati? This seems like
a lot of reasons.
To keep
What are you talking about?
Mahomes on schedule.
Yeah,
He's
Mahomes got to
27.
stay on schedule.
So
They're not going to let us win, Rob. Chiefs are going to win the Super
it's
Bowl.
just. But I'm
Chiefs are
saying
winning the
these are
Super Bowl.
two interchangeable Midwestern cities.
kind of, but Mahomes is the fucking
He's the
poster
star,
boy, right?
Yes.
He's the guy.
He's
He's
the
next
guy.
up.
And Tom Brady's 27 year.
You're also
right?
going to get the Andy Reid Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to get
And-
the Kelseys
Yep.
going against each other. There's a lot of different storylines with the Eagles. Chiefs.
And Tom Brady's year 27 season won his second MVP and his second Super Bowl. That's why.
Okay. I would argue that
Got to stay on schedule.
I would argue that Pat Mahomes is the more exciting, more marketable player on the field. But in terms of like creating content and stuff, if you want to, be cool online, that Burrow is definitely the better quarterback to have in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but you taking Zach Taylor over Andy Reid? No.
I don't think people care. I don't think
People love Andy Reid.
I know the old people do, and
Yeah.
people from Philadelphia do.
And people
No,
like
people
Waffle
from
House.
Philadelphia do not love Andy Reid.
It's just you.
Just me.
It's just you defending him every Thanksgiving.
pretty much.
Yeah.
They drove him the fuck out of that town, dude.
14 great years with Andy.
Yeah,
But, he couldn't get over the hump.
Does he get a statue?
he should.
No.
He should.
I mean, Nick Foles has one.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
It's true.
Nick Foles won a chip.
He did.
Sure did. But back to how the Bengals got robbed. For me, the refs aside, look, we can go back to the DeMar Hamlin game, okay? That game, they're up 7-3 over the Bills. If they win that game or get to replay that game however they were going to fucking do it, the Bengals had the head-to-head against the Chiefs. They would have been number one. They would have had the bye. Then they would have had all home field games throughout the playoffs which also fucking helps. Instead, they had to go to at Buffalo, got even more injured. Then they had to play at Kansas City. That's you and I have been to pretty much every stadium there is. That's the loudest one I've ever been to in the United States. To go against that, it's still a fucking close game. Burrow's almost able to pull this out, even with half of his fucking linemen down.
Right. Also, why else would they do it? The Chiefs fans are a much better fan base.
That's true.
Yeah.
Larger for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with the recent success. The fan base is growing.
Sorry, Bengals.
The
fans.
Chiefs are far more of a regional fan base, whereas Cincinnati is basically Cincinnati.
Yeah. It's only I guess there's some Boomer Esiason fans somewhere that care.
Or Chris Collins.
Corey
I
Dillon.
thought about this the other day. There's got to be so many people younger than me, like not quite Gen Z, but like younger millennial to Gen Z that look at Boomer Esiason on CBS and are like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, you were like Steve Young, but without the talent, right?
Yeah. And his name is Boomer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Boomer Esiason was before me. Like,
Boomer,
Yeah.
he was good though. He was good.
He was. He
Like,
made
played
Super
on
Bowls.
shitty teams, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least Phil
he
Simms
got
has
to-
a ring.
He got to, what, 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was throwing.
Not shitty teams.
No,
No, that's what I said.
There was a
one almost won, but
there
they
was-
lost by a
They
few.
should have won both games.
There was a 4-year peak, but the rest of the career there sucked.
Yeah.
That team sucked. Right?
It's not. I'm trying to think of a modern equivalent of Boomer Esiason because it's not any of the elite quarterbacks.
Elway, kind of. I mean, well, he's not modern though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Romo?
Elway was kind of the same. He just had a
with more success.
Or a little, more successful Tony Romo. All right.
Yeah. But my biggest takeaway out of these games this weekend altogether, same with college football this year, there's so many fucking injuries. If you guys want to play all these games and keep adding games to the schedule and all this other shit, expand the rosters.
Gotta make it bigger.
You have to.
For both college and because now we're just seeing all these injured, fucked up people. I was with a Chiefs fan last night, and he said, "I don't know any of the receivers left,"
Right.
And I didn't either. And I'm going to go through some of these names here. First of all, this is full disclosure to the audience. I thought Valdez-Scantling still played for Green Bay. I was unaware that he was on the Chiefs this year.
He's like their number
Was-
4 or something like that.
Yeah, but was that the whole year? Did they pick him up?
He was a trade, I think.
Okay.
Him and Kadarius Toney were both in-season acquisitions, I believe.
Yeah, Tony went out early.
Marcus Kemp. Who is that?
Great question.
He had 1 catch for 13 yards.
Okay.
Sky Moore, I know, is the rookie. He's had a shitty year. Not great.
he's good returning.
Terrible in fantasy football
fast
this
guy.
year.
But yeah, if we're going to do like 3 different football leagues, just expand the roster so we can have more NFL guys.
Yes. Let's
Like, fuck these leagues.
load up on quarterbacks,
You know,
all the other things.
I suppose like it's probably good for if you're going to have like a 4th string quarterback, let that guy go get reps in the USFL, like starting or whatever, and then he can come be on your team or
It's just a funnel league.
as
Yeah,
a
it
break.
could be like a minor league,
Yeah.
I guess.
yeah.
Describing soccer.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happens.
But we're also describing minor league baseball.
Yes.
Like get ready and then
speaking of which, baseball kept its roster expansion after COVID. There is an extra player on the roster now, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
26.
You get
it says
one?
25. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Well,
That's
it's because they use it
different-
for a pitcher typically.
Yeah, it's a different sport. What do you
it's a different sport.
And
but-
and they also, by the way, not only do they expand the roster, but there's a DH in both leagues, so that kind of makes roster flexibility different as well. So that sport did it, and it didn't even add extra games. Whereas football, which is a brutal sport, is adding extra games on every level.
every single level. And, you look at the Final Four in the CFP, 3 out of 4 teams were hurt. The healthiest team won. These games yesterday, 3 out of 4 teams had massive fucking injuries on all sides of the ball except for one.
No, all of them did.
No, the Eagles, by the way, this is this craziest stat I heard on ESPN last night. The only team in the NFL that had all their starters in game 1 and the playoff game yesterday was the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, but their quarterback,
Lane-
the
and
most
Lane
important
Johnson.
position, can't throw the ball right now.
Lane
But they were-
Johnson with a fucked up
Abdominal, bullshit, yeah.
just holding Nick Bosa.
But how wild is that?
check.
You have 17 grueling games in an NFL schedule, and you manage to have the same starting lineups on both sides.
This is, by the way, for everyone in the Drinkin Bros Sports group throughout the year that I see bitch about roughing the passer or whatever. This is why the fucking pussy roughing the passer rules exist. Because you don't want
You don't.
the Niners' 4th string quarterback in the NFC Championship game.
Sure don't.
It's kind of like why I always tell people to not be so excited about when a 15 or 14 seed goes far in the NCAA tournament, because then you get to the Final Four of the Elite Eight, and it's just like I don't
they
watch
get
this
hammered.
game. This sucks.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to see St. Pete in the Elite Eight.
Yeah. So you've got to expand the rosters. The injuries have gotten fucking crazy at this point. We'll talk about the line here since MyBookie is our sponsor. Again, head to mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will double your first deposits all the way up to $1,000. As always, we'll be doing a live show from the Super Bowl. We'll be going through all the prop bets. There'll be 1 million of those. That'll be fun. I think Urlacher will be on the show as well. We'll be in Arizona all week. Bet with us or against us. If you bet with me this weekend, you were a fucking loser. And then if you want to go to this game or anything that is around you, Major League Baseball coming up, spring training, all that other stuff, go to drinkinbrostickets.com for all your tickets there. Let's get to this line because this is very surreal to me. It is Eagles -2. Is that because of the injuries to the Chiefs? Because we saw the exact same thing with the Chiefs spread earlier on in the week. Bengals were actually favored by 1.5, and then once they found out who was playing, it switched all the way to -2 for the Chiefs.
I don't know
Probably,
that I've
but
ever seen a line dance like that.
I
neither.
would say we're a better team, but like I said, they ain't gonna let us win.
The Eagles.
They don't want us to win.
The Eagles are better at every position except for quarterback.
Yeah,
And not tight end.
Not
ends.
tight end.
Not
yeah.
tight
But
end.
I mean, like they
Well,
don't,
offensive line.
but they don't.
Look,
but they're-
Chiefs are number one.
no. The Chiefs are not number one.
They are?
No, they are not.
They have the number one offensive line in the NFL.
According to what?
According to ESPN, they're number one.
They might
That-
statistically
are.
That is not accurate.
They are. No,
Yes,
they are.
Statistically, they
It
are.
is. It's not.
When does Mahomes ever get touched? The fumble he had yesterday was just a goof.
That was on him.
Yeah.
he just dropped it.
Yeah, that's fine, but he's a real quarterback. Jalen Hurts is still learning how to play that position, right? Let's be frank about this.
Well, technically, he's younger than Stetson Bennett. So
Well, Stetson Bennett couldn't get away from some of the pass rushers this weekend either. He got arrested.
He
so
did.
We'll talk about that later.
yeah.
But Jalen at 24 in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If only we had a
This
quarterback.
is why, honestly, like last year's Georgia national championship, sure, enjoy it. That's awesome, guys. This one, like, you had an adult at quarterback.
Let
like
him
a
keep
man.
Playing. Let him keep playing.
I think any national title winning quarterback should get a 1-year amnesty from the date that he wins the title. 1-year amnesty for any nonviolent crime.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to say,
He's drunk in public.
if you win a national
His life is
championship,
over. He's not going to play football anymore.
every
It's
time you win a
done.
national championship, you get another year of eligibility. So Stetson should keep coming back as long as he wins
That'd
the
be
national.
really
Oh
funny.
God.
Get that NIL, baby. Let's
He's there
Ever.
until he's like 40.
He would do it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But
I
yeah,
would do it.
As far as this line goes at -2, it's got to be the injuries, right? Or who's playing for Kansas City?
I think you're getting some value there.
I just think we're better, but I mean Mahomes is going to beat us. It's just I have a really bad feeling about this game.
so.
I have a hard time betting against Mahomes.
Yeah,
And the only Super Bowl he lost, his line was like decimated.
Yeah, and it was Tom Brady on the other side, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you kind of like. I feel. Do you remember Talladega Nights? And Borat's character, where he's just like, "I'm the best. I want somebody to beat me before I get out of here." I kind of feel like that's the only reason Tom Brady still plays football. Like he wants to have a real team assembled, which he hasn't had since he won that title.
I
and
think he
have
just
somebody-
hates his family.
And then well, that's probably part of it too. But I think he wants somebody younger to beat him, and
I-
not lose because his fucking team sucks.
Yeah. Also, I've seen pictures of him with his son. I don't think he hates his family.
Oh no, he makes out with his.
Well,
Yeah.
he loves his. You got to kiss your kid like
a
that if you
love-hate
love him.
thing.
You don't.
Yeah.
The other interesting part of this to me is the over/under in this game at 49.5.
That's way too high.
I don't think. I think that's low. I think to win this game, one of these teams has got to score 28 to 30 points.
It's gonna be an interesting game from the Chiefs defense versus the Eagles offense because the Chiefs defense isn't like incredible, but they have like
not.
certain pieces like Jones.
And Spagnuolo kind of turns it up in the playoffs.
He does, and I mean between Jones rushing the passer, and then obviously Jalen's mobile, but like the Chiefs, probably the best overall unit on their team is maybe the linebackers. Like I mean, this is a homer pick, but like Nick Bolton is fucking great. Like if you want someone to spy Jalen Hurts, let Nick Bolton.
I would argue their defensive line's probably better than the linebacking core, but it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I like the under. I mean, I like the over on this game, and then the Chiefs here, just because I don't think they're going to let Mahomes lose this game.
Dude, the
Don't let
value.
it. It's rigged.
First off, if you get getting the Chiefs as a dog where all you have to bet is money line and it's plus money.
Yep.
You have to bet that.
And they don't want us climbing poles. They're going to grease them
Think
up.
of the polls.
In Arizona.
I'm gonna try to get on it. Georgia, bring the camera. Bring one of the GoPros. I'll try to.
We'll find you a pole.
Yeah, we'll find a pole.
We'll get some degreasing, some stickum.
Yeah, a little degreaser out there.
Yeah.
D'Anthony, do you think Eagles have a shot at the Super Bowl?
I think, yeah, for sure.
You think they'll win?
They're a better team, but they don't have the best player, and that matters.
Yeah.
You know, they do have the best unit. I'm looking at the stats here. If you're going to go off just sacks allowed, technically the Buccaneers have the best offensive line of football, right? For sacks allowed, that's not the measure.
It might be a measurement of just all the advanced statistics.
Everybody that I've heard speak on ESPN and Fox for the last 2 weeks say the best unit in football is the Eagles' offensive line. But forget about that. They're deep everywhere. That's the real strength of the team, right?
Our defense is.
The defense especially, but even on offense, you guys have 3 fucking top-tier receivers.
Yeah.
And as it stands right now, Mahomes doesn't have one.
No.
He's got a bunch of 2s and 3s on his the same lineup that fucking what's his nuts? God damn it. Anyways, the same issue that a lot of people have. Or Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Same issue he has, right? You don't have a true number one standout receiver. You go, hey, they have Kelsey, right? But he's banged up. And
So what was his deal? Was he?
Back
I know, but
back
so was that like a random thing that just jumped up and bit him?
Yeah, was that like a
and he'll be
Dustin
okay?
Johnson at Augusta getting caught cheating?
Yep.
And fell down the steps scenario, or
Look,
I don't know.
He plays hard, so it's tough to say with that guy, but I would have been shocked had he had sat out and then, going up to it, they're like, they don't know if he's going to play. 2 hours before he had to go out and run some drills.
I bought the hype.
And he still looked like shit. Did you watch the footage? He looked very slow, very lethargic, and I was like, I don't know if
And
this
then
guy's
during
gonna
the
play.
game, caught a touchdown. Looked pretty
He was
good.
lights
Yeah.
out. It was like nothing had ever happened to him.
But this game is going to come down to play calling and execution, right?
Yeah.
It's and look, you can't
Unproven coach.
you
against
can't ask for more.
One of the goats.
And
But
this,
the Eagles have to throw the fucking ball.
maybe
I don't think they get away with
they're not going to
just
get
runs.
they're not going to get turnovers from the Chiefs like they did from the 49ers. Probably. Sometimes it happens, but it's not likely. Bieniemy's one of the better fucking OCs in football, and how he's not a head coach somewhere. I guess maybe he just doesn't want to be.
He
I
doesn't-
think
he doesn't
our
interview
theory.
well.
We were talking too that
He's waiting for Andy to
He's the coach
retire.
in waiting in
Yeah.
KC maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if fucking Pat's going to stay around, you may as well, right?
Why would you want to
Why
get
would you
right?
leave?
But yeah, it's
And-
gonna and the Chiefs DC is
Spagnuolo.
they don't really fucking do too much during the regular season. I mean, they have a lot of close games and they perform well, but he does. Whoever said it, turn it up in the playoffs. The way he calls the game is so much different in the playoffs.
He was the defense coordinator for the Giants at one
When
point.
they
right?
beat
Yeah.
the undefeated Patriots,
Like
he was
when
their
they-
DC.
On third down, they fucking bring it.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are really good in the playoffs on third down, and that's one of the most important things you can be good at.
This is low key. We talk about this a lot in college. We don't talk about it as much when we cover the NFL. Like us personally, not this does get talked about a lot by other people. But maybe the best coordinator pairing in the NFL. on the
Maybe, yeah.
Chiefs.
You don't see two great coordinators on the same team because one of them usually gets picked off. to be the head coach.
Like the 49ers defensive coordinator is gone.
D'Amico Ryans?
Yes, he'll be the coach of the Texans next year.
Well, yeah, he played for the Texans.
Speaking of coordinators,
But also used to play for the Eagles.
let's just get into
So we're
it now.
leaving a trail of former Eagles behind us. We're just murking them.
Go ahead.
Kellen Moore got fired yesterday from the Cowboys, right?
Not a shock.
And the word on the street is that McCarthy is just going to call the plays now as well. Call
So
the
we can
offense.
fire
Awful
him by
decision.
week 2?
Yep.
or-
Yeah,
Awful
and
decision.
the thinking behind it is like, hey, this is a rumor. The rumor that's circulating. Jones says, hey, your ass is on the line. He goes, okay, if it is, let me fucking handle the offense. And that's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not.
I could
But
see them bringing in like Cliff to
As a
run the
coach?
offense. The
Or an
offense
OC?
coordinator. Yeah.
They should.
They should.
That'd be a great move.
Be a great move.
But he lives in
Dak
Thailand
is a
now.
college quarterback.
He went to Thailand.
Yeah. Do you know that?
Well,
He bought a one-way ticket to Thailand.
So
and
is-
they can't find him.
so is Eli, but like I'm sure they'll run into each other.
Dave Chappelle
eventually.
came back.
Yeah.
Cliff will come
Eventually.
back.
Give him a couple weeks.
He came back
Eventually.
eventually. Here's the
Kellen
thing.
Moore, less than 24 hours later, gets hired as the OC for the Chargers.
Terrible.
And that I don't understand.
I don't either. That means you're keeping you're keeping Staley, and he's the worst.
He's going to
think that-
ruin Herbert.
Yes.
That also means the Chiefs are good for another couple of years.
Sure does.
No one else is winning that division now.
Sure does.
I don't understand that move. I mean, what has Kellen Moore done exactly except for underperform with a fucking elite
I
offensive
don't
unit?
understand why he didn't take
Except
the
the
Boise
quarterback.
job.
I don't either. That's
Like-
a dream job.
That was his alma mater. It was open once Harsin was gone.
Here-
and
I
he was like
think-
a hot coaching candidate. So
I think a lot of those guys, as like with college versus the pros, like I think now like these dudes that just want to like play with their toys, you know what I mean? Like get creative, and they don't want to recruit, right? They just want to like draw plays. And
Well, he's 33. He doesn't want to go start recruiting right now.
Oh,
That's a
sounds
fucking
terrible.
grind, man.
It
You
is.
don't want to do that shit.
Especially now with NIL. Good luck. Have fun with all that bullshit. Speaking of NIL, by the way, read an interesting article over the weekend with Coach Saban. Saban said that 2 kids came in that he was recruiting for this February signing. That's about to happen, and they wanted $800,000 apiece. And he looked at both of them and said, "We don't do that here. And if you're looking for that type of money out of high school, go to another program." And he walked out of the room.
This is, to me, this sounds like a fucking pastor at a church who says, "This weekend I was at the shopping mall and I ran into some skateboarder kids." And none of this shit ever fucking happened. This is Paul Feinbaum running cover for this dude. Alabama's paying people just as much and just the same as everybody else. This
but
is just,
the right way.
yeah, the right way.
publicly.
This is just Saban trying to fucking craft his image.
He has 2 car dealerships.
I mean, this is
and
kind of,
every Alabama recruit would show up with a Dodge Charger randomly.
But what his point was this: it is still Alabama. We are still elite, and we have 5 stars across the board. Why am I paying 2 unproven kids that I don't fucking know anything about that type of money? That's a lot of goddamn money.
well, he's not paying anybody any money.
Not him, but you still got to go to the boosters and do the song and dance.
I mean,
don't
this
think
is the Marine Corps austerity-driven marketing thing. Like, hey, there's not a lot of us, and our equipment sucks, but we're the baddest motherfuckers around. That's their ethos, anyways. It's not true. They're a bunch of bitches. They eat crayons and they're gay. But that's the marketing, right? Maybe that's what he's trying to pull. Maybe he doesn't want to play that game. And
Yeah.
maybe it'll work out for a couple of years, but he'll be gone.
We'll
soon.
see. I mean, Coach K was kind of the same way once the one and done happened, and then he adjusted.
Went
You-
one
you-
and done.
You're not going to be able to compete unless you pay players. Nobody gives a fuck about having Alabama on the diploma that they're never going to get.
Maybe those kids, maybe that happened, that exact thing happened, but he never intended on signing those kids anyway.
Yeah.
All right, and so just threw him under the bus. The funnier one in the same story to me was
The Brock Purdy story.
No. It was the
Which is
fucking other guy
bullshit, by the way.
who was like, "Give me money, and also you need to get my girlfriend into law school at Alabama and pay for her law school."
Yep.
And Saban was like, "Get the fuck out."
But the whole thing with Brock Purdy that came out about Saban offered him a scholarship.
Yeah.
Like it was whatever. He just said you're like slow, you don't have the arm or whatever, and then they just kind of took that out of context. But then Saban was just like, but we can work on that, and it offered him a scholarship to Bama anyway.
Yeah.
Because he always gets like a 3-star that like Mac Jones and stuff that he tries to like progress and
Right.
build up.
Yeah, Mac wasn't a big recruit, was
No.
he?
No.
Obviously Tua was, and obviously Bryce was, but
But they always have that one guy in
Yeah.
the program that's just kind of there for 3 or 4 years.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the big schools do. Ohio State does that too, like where there's just a kid who's a 3-star, might not ever play, maybe transfers year 5, things like that. Like, I understand doing that for sure. We can switch on over here to college basketball. This is a mess. My God, dude. I watched Bama get the team you guys loved.
Yeah.
I still love him.
They got, when I was at the gym, I looked up and I was like, they're down by 35
Yeah.
points.
Yeah, it was wild.
Who
They hit
are they
shots.
playing?
Oklahoma.
Yeah, but isn't this what Dan said about if you live and die by that 3, you could get fucking run out of the gym.
And they're young, you know?
It was a road game against a Big 12 team. Oklahoma's a tournament team, or at least on a bubble team.
I mean, everyone in the Big 12, other than Tech
Yeah.
and like West Virginia. are,
By the
like,
way, if you want a good
teams.
line tonight, Iowa State is only a 1-point favorite on the road at Tech, who
That
sucks.
is a trap.
Baylor, Texas, they're playing here at the Moody Center tonight at 8 p.m.
Are they really?
Yeah.
It's a good game if you
Texas
get
is, I believe, a 4-point favorite in that game, which
yeah, they are.
find a little sus as well. But
there. Yeah, I did too. I did too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Texas isn't great at home, are they?
They're good. I mean, first off, the home team
they
is
don't.
always
But they don't
It's not
really
like,
lose.
It's
at
not like
home.
going to Baylor or something. Like,
No, they're especially with the new Moody Center.
the Moody Center's been rocking.
Yeah.
They
It's a beautiful arena.
Yeah, it's nice.
something with the rims, man, for Texas at the
Is it
Moody
really?
Center. I don't know.
But I
I'm
still like
trying
Bama. Lenardi still has Bama on the one line.
I do too. Look,
Well, yeah,
I don't
who else
think
would you
one
put
loss
there?
defines exactly,
Right.
and that's what the hardest part about college basketball is. Because now that NFL is winding down, we got one game left. I'm not watching the goddamn Pro Bowl, which is a flag football game.
Well, the funniest part is Purdue keeps winning, and we're just like, yeah, anybody. Purdue's not the best
If
team.
Purdue makes it past the Sweet 16,
Yeah, we're like
I would be
Purdue's not.
shocked.
They're not winning the Natty.
No, not even close.
No, but it keeps switching. Every game you turn on, it feels like all the ranked teams are losing. I don't know what to make of
It's
this.
a deep
this
year,
year.
man. It's a deep year.
Yeah.
Is it deep, or,
It's deep.
or are
This
the
is-
players going to the G League? And I'm asking because you guys
one's-
follow it a little more
no
than
one's
I
going
do.
to G League.
Nobody's
And I
going to
mean,
G
the
League.
fucking number one overall pick this year is not even in America right now.
Is that crazy French
Wemby?
dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fucking French dude
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
7'4".
Giannis size, but can dribble, has handles, can shoot.
So there's some years where I'm like, yeah, there's no one that great or whatever. But this year I'm like, man, there are a lot of like really good fucking teams. Like genuinely, especially teams that can score a lot. I feel like there are a ton of teams that are like Alabama, not as talented as Alabama, but like Alabama, where it's just like, God, they could put up 90.
And neither of those teams are FAU or the College of Charleston.
I think College Charleston lost again.
Thank God.
So they have to
get
I
them out
think
of my face.
They have to win their conference to get in. at
FAU
this
is
point.
ranked 19th right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to stay.
They shouldn't be.
The top 25, they're one of the best teams of the country.
They should be a 10 seed.
Dan hates FAU for reasons I don't even understand.
No one
but-
goes to FAU. Everyone that says
Have you
they
ever
go-
met somebody that went to FAU?
No.
So many, and they love it.
No, it's
They
the
regale me with
Instagram
stories.
models that say they go to
Never
FAU.
You've never met one person.
They
that went to
regale
FAU.
me with stories, and they love FAU, the rich tradition and history there. They love it.
what
dude.
kind of
Boca
program is it?
Raton.
Yeah.
Everything
Is
closes
it
by
just like
8
old
o'clock.
Jews that go to school there? Or what the fuck's going
Yeah,
on?
it's most of the classes are just audited.
Boca is not a college town. No.
What's the opposite of a college town?
Yeah,
that is
it's
Boca.
a
And old
geriatric
people
fucking
town.
Play some
Yeah.
bingo, a little shuffleboard.
But you love UConn early on this year.
Yeah, they're
they're
falling
now
off.
24.
They're not.
And they have
They're still ranked?
6 losses. Yeah, they're there.
All right.
Alabama fell to 4 here.
But it's not too late for them to make a run. Look, it's still early. We still got another month and a half of fucking basketball going
Exactly.
Sort of. I mean, we're 22 games deep in the season now. That's
All right.
pretty fucking far.
on. Yeah,
I'm gonna say it right
13
now.
games left?
UCLA is going to win the Natty.
No, not even. I mean, it's almost impossible to predict who's going to win the Natty right now
Because of matchups and how
It's
the
all
bracket
going to be
works out.
matchups and how the bracket shakes
But
out.
I trust of all the teams right now, with just the experience coming back, the coaching, and just the style, I think UCLA's got a really good chance.
Well, in that case, then Houston's got it locked down.
No, Houston's going to do their same old bullshit where they lose in the Elite Eight or
They'll
Sweet
have
16.
one game in the fucking second or third round where they go 0 for 40 from 3.
Yeah.
We were at the game. Was it 1 for 32?
Yeah,
from
it was
3-pointers?
bad.
They are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
But that's who they are every single
No,
fucking
we were
year.
at the game they won. We were at the Sweet 16 game.
Yeah, the next
The game
game
after.
was the one
Yeah,
they
yeah,
lost.
yeah.
That
They
was
still
in-
looked like dog shit in that Sweet 16.
I know, but they
It's
mucked it
terrible.
up in Arizona. I was
Oh,
the
wait,
only
no.
one on Houston that day.
We're talking about that was 2018.
No.
That was the game we were at last
yeah.
year.
Last
San
year.
Antonio.
Yeah, but
But we didn't we see Arizona play in not Burbank in
Yes.
LA?
Yep.
3 years ago?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2019, maybe
Yeah.
18. I don't remember.
They're there every year.
You think Arizona's soft?
They're soft. They did beat UCLA, though.
Virginia's not soft.
No.
They're
Well,
pretty good.
Here's the
it's-
thing, right?
Virginia's just good defense, right?
Yeah.
Arizona might be the best team in the Pac-12. UCLA, best team in the country.
Jesus.
That sounds like what's that dumb dick from First Take, Dan whatever Orlovsky?
Yeah.
Saying that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback, but Patrick Mahomes is the best player. It's like,
Yep.
dude, they play the same. But
You're
I know
welcome,
I know
right.
what he was trying to say. It
Yeah,
wasn't-
yeah.
But relax, dude.
Yeah.
Just take it easy.
Yeah, it's a little much here. Giorgio, I want to ask you about some UFC news over the weekend. Street Jesus is back.
Yep. Fucking Gilbert Burns.
Are you surprised by that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am
Definitely.
too. When I saw that, I was like, wait, what?
You know why, though, right?
Out of stars? What is it?
No,
No.
because Connor got hit on his bike. Ride his
Was
bike.
he supposed to fight?
No, I just
No.
definitely thought they were going to pair Connor and Jorge
No.
up in some sort of
Connor doesn't want to do
big
that.
money match.
They're going to give Connor a tomato can to come back. However, Gilbert Burns been on a little bit of a run, and he's been in a bunch of exciting fights. He's got a little notoriety when he fought Chimaev, and that was probably fight of the year last year. So him and Masvidal, they've kind of been going back and forth. Burns is like, I won't take you down. I'll make like a gentleman's agreement that will just stand up the entire time and fight.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So they've been going back and forth. It'll be a fun fight, I think.
Is that a co-main event in that one?
It's co-main.
It is. Who's the other one on there?
They haven't really established that card yet.
Okay.
Now, we really only care about one thing right now, and that's the Islam versus Volkanovski fight. People are swaying back and forth in their opinion. People gave Volkanovski no chance whatsoever.
in 2 weeks.
And then the stuff started coming out. There's chances he could win. Is he a hard fight for Islam? He's so compact and small. They talk about his range not being enough, but he's always fought like that. They talk about him being small, but he used to be 220 pounds when he played rugby. So it's interesting.
He's a little bowling ball. But Islam's probably too strong for him. But they also announced Izzy Pereira 2.
Yep.
What are some other fights? Dana went on like a weird 15-minute
Tangent
of just listing fights.
Yeah. What's the other big one that they got? I don't really care about the John Jones Cyril Gane fight too.
Yeah, that's coming up soon.
Yeah, so at least there's some good ones out there that we can all get behind, us casuals out here. So, like, I'm in.
I think more importantly, Logan Paul did really well at WrestleMania.
Holy fucking
At
shit.
the Royal Rumble.
You know,
That was a dope move.
That was pretty incredible.
You can save your career with a good WrestleMania performance. No matter what you did, how much money you stole, people you fucked over, drugs you've done, cars you've wrecked.
He's a natural.
WrestleMania
What are you complaining about drugs done?
Yeah, also,
Yeah.
he should have waited. You know, he came back with 4 guys left. He should have waited till there's 1 guy left and thrown him out.
Look, man, that was some of the craziest shit I've ever seen. I reposted it on my Twitter. I was like, fucking hey, dude.
They're definitely trying to groom him for a spot there, which would be nice because nobody over there has a fucking personality anymore.
Yes.
It's like weird,
They need
quirky
him.
shit. Like,
No.
oh, here's our fucking leprechaun Irish dude.
Right.
Or-
But they're
stupid.
they're doing the right thing for wrestling. They're catering to kids.
Yes.
Like, that's the move. That's what you should do. Stop. There was a weird era where they were just like kind of cultivating their entire fan base to be like 30 to 40-year-old
kept
men.
bringing
people
Jeff
would-
Hardy back.
people-
and I'm
Right.
like, we can't do the ripped up neoprene sleeves. We can't do the weird cut up beard anymore. Like, this isn't mid 2000s.
No, they
and
need to
they've been
bring back
running him.
fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can save
They
that
do.
sport.
Wrestling, you can bring back everybody.
Yeah.
Like, Ric Flair will come back at some point.
Well, I think John Cena is coming back, right? Or did he come back?
Leave him alone. He's the ruined wrestling.
He's ruined everything.
He's ruined movies, commercials, all of it.
Knee high.
Foreign politics.
Yeah, exactly. God damn.
Ruins
Fuck that
podcast.
guy.
But really,
Yeah.
can we talk about Logan Paul as being just like a phenom professional wrestler? Like, he's a prodigy. Like, there's no one who's came out like
He's a great
this.
athlete.
He's a really goddamn good
He's
athlete.
Yeah, he's a
charismatic,
great
he's doing
athlete,
the
but
right
he's also
moves.
like his entire career has been about capturing attention. So yeah, you add that to
got
great
both.
athlete, it's perfect for
Yep.
this sport.
And Giorgio, because Logan Paul's background was in wrestling originally. Do you tell this to any of your wrestlers of like, hey, dude, did they ask like, coach, what do I do after this?
And you say
No.
theater.
Yeah.
Definitely shouldn't say that.
Well, it is theater. So.
You got to do
Oh,
both.
well, that, yes, correct. Yeah.
No, like, I basically coach Last Chance U. This is for guys who started in high school or like just didn't get enough of it and just want to keep grinding out a little bit. It's like, yeah, this is probably the last place.
But do they have
this.
any aspirations to be like, hey,
No,
dude, can I be in the
absolutely not.
WWE? Why not? Isn't that what Gable Stevenson's doing?
He's signed, but he's still competing internationally. I mean, these guys are more like what is it? Ring of Power style guys. You know, or like a B promotion, C promotion.
Yeah, you want to fight at what like Andrew Craig was calling on Sunday, going head to head against.
Oh, that was great. We had a little regional MMA event with a
We don't
bunch
have to talk about it, but he invited all of us, and I'm like, dude, there's football on.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, your regional fucking slap fighting contest doesn't really compete with the most watched 2 sporting
I don't know,
events
man.
other than the Super Bowl a year.
If there's one of my favorite sporting events I've ever been to was a regional mid-Missouri MMA match.
Yeah.
And the fight was
'Cause you're gonna
pretty
see-
good.
You're gonna see dudes just get starched.
Yeah, the fighting was pretty good, and it was at like Giorgio. It was at the Blue Note. Like, it wasn't in some fucking garage. Like, it was at a concert venue, a good concert venue in Columbia. But man, if you ever want to just people watch or hang
yeah.
out with a crowd, Oh, fuck.
Oftentimes, I used to go to tough man competitions back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Before UFC was a thing. Well, I guess it was a thing, but not like it is now. And the fights in the crowd are sometimes better than the fights in the octagon.
Oh, yeah.
I've been going to these underground tough mans now where we just stand in a circle and kick each other in the balls.
That's a fight club.
That
Dude,
you
that's
go to
not-
like a indie wrestling promotion. Those are always fun.
Yeah, they had a lot in L.A.
At like a VFW.
Oh, yeah. They had a lot in Los Angeles. Those little luchador fights, too.
Oh, they were great.
That was
and then
the whole
midge wrestling that they keep
fucking
trying to get us
jam.
to go to. Which one of our fans kept sending us midge wrestling tickets?
Oh, God,
Or
I
like-
forget, dude. And he was just like, oh, man, it's going down in San Antonio.
Yeah,
I was
like, hey, just-
no, I'm not going to that.
I'm not driving to that.
No, definitely not driving to that. Love you, but maybe if I was a kid,
If you
Georgia
come pick
again,
me
no.
up, and then you feed me booze all night and wear me in a baby Bjorn so I don't even have to stand up, I'll do it.
Wig you up.
You're gonna fucking
Wake me up, Daddy.
Yeah, you're gonna get wigged up by Daddy. Go out to the fights. Speaking of people who need a wig, let's get to the LeBron story. So I watched this game on Saturday nights, Lakers versus Celtics. It was actually a very, very good game. LeBron did get fucking hammered on that.
that
last
was
play.
that was the most obvious foul of all time.
The dude who
And-
gets like every call, somehow that gets missed.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
crazy to
And
me.
it was, I think the score was tied at 106 at the time.
Changing
Yes.
of the
And
And
guard.
there was no time left on the clock. It was like,
Yep.
it was fractions of seconds.
0.3, yeah.
So they, I don't think they had full timeout, so they couldn't advance the ball all the way down the court. It was an impossible situation to come back from. All he had to do was make 1 out of 2 free throws, and they win the game. And he gets hacked big time. They don't call it, and he flips the fuck out, loses his mind, like wallows around on the court on his hands and knees like a fucking child, throwing a tantrum. And there's been a lot of moments for him over the years. One of them giving himself the nickname Chosen One, and then getting that tattooed on his body that tells you where.
He also named himself King James.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, all right, dude, that's cool. But
yeah, but that shit he did when he was like 18.
yeah, fair enough. Now he's 38, and he's still doing it, and it's why he will never, no matter, you could break every fucking record that ever exists, you will never be Jordan or Kobe, because what they would have done in that situation is look at the ref and be like, all right, cool. And they would have taken over the game in overtime and made sure their team won that game just to make a fucking point.
Yeah, but
It
what's
really-
sadder is he doesn't matter anymore. The Lakers aren't making the
No,
playoffs.
No, they're
Terrible.
bad. And what's really like hurts LeBron too is like I wouldn't actually even care if he constantly like yelled or bitched at the refs if his face didn't look so clownishly sad. Like it really is like the expressions
Yeah.
are like
It's like an oil painting.
Oh my God. Like at least just get in their be like a MLB manager or something, right? Like get in their fucking face and be a fucking dick.
Or just be Patrick Beverly, get the cameraman's camera, show the referee,
Yeah.
and then get teed up and
That's great.
Now, that
but,
was
like,
hilarious,
he
by the way.
Really, like, he just does, like, he's just like, it's a giant frown. It's like someone grabs his fucking face and yanks it down, and he's like,
Yeah. Speaking of which, I want to ask you this question because this bleeds over into tonight's game. They're playing the Nets this morning or on the drive over here. He is sitting out tonight magically, along with AD for load management. Is that
they
part
should
of
be
this?
fine for that, right?
He says he's got a sore knee. He sure did when he scored 41 on Saturday night. But with that, I mean, what the fuck do you do about this shit?
I think
Because
that the visiting team has to refund the tickets.
to the fans.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Like 100% of the entire, maybe not season ticket holders, but anybody that purchased a ticket should get their money refunded by the visiting
they're playing the
team.
Nets tonight. LeBron is going to break the record. He's only 19 points away.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It would take a plane crash at this point.
Well,
Well,
Maybe a helicopter.
Helicopter,
crash.
yeah. Oh boy. Maybe I spoke too
Dude,
soon. on
the
that one.
NBA regular season sucks ass. It's just bad, and it's been bad for decades. Like, it's not, these games are meaningless.
So what do we do here? Because I thought about this over the weekend as well, right? I think there's too many games in the NBA. I think NFL is getting real goddamn close to having too many games.
This has been the amount of games in the NBA for 50 years.
It has.
And it wasn't too much for Jordan or Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant or any of these fucking superstars.
Not for the load management, but for, like, it being interesting.
They're not going to shorten the games because that's a loss.
It was
Right,
too much
exactly.
for Dennis Rodman. Let's be honest.
and personally, I don't think there's enough games in baseball. I think you got to double the.
I mean,
the amount.
Baseball, holy shit.
It should just be year round. It should be every.
If you
day.
wanted, so you could get creative in the NBA if you don't want to reduce games. Because I've had this idea for baseball before. If you really wanted to like make people more interested in the day-to-day outcomes, is instead of doing it by just straight up wins and losses, you do it by series wins and losses, right?
Okay.
So every 3-game series, you have to win that series to get a win.
Oh, I like that.
You have to win 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Right? So if you want to keep the NBA games the same or to make it an even 3 up it to 90, right? Then what you do is those teams play each other 3 times.
Okay.
And they have to win a series to get a win.
I like
or
that.
just less teams make the playoffs.
That too would
Like
be
half the league shouldn't make the playoffs.
hugely helpful, which is why baseball perseveres to an extent despite its season being so long, is because there's fewer teams
It's
making it.
so few teams that make it.
Yeah.
Now that's changing, which I'm again. They cannot expand it anymore.
No.
It is at its peak. It's probably
And
too much.
when they're
already.
talking about like adding teams in the NBA, I'm like, why, man?
There's
The
not
talent's
enough.
already spread out too thin as is.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
And God knows the NFL can't add any teams. They don't have enough quarterbacks for like 8.
It was always like a big thing when I was at Golf Channel, NBC Sports. It was just like grow the game, but like every sport, I think we should shrink the game.
I do
Like make
too.
the talent be let's just have less teams so we can have
You
more.
don't need
talented
less teams. You need multiple. You need feeder leagues, right? Baseball also has. So there's 750 people in Major League Baseball at any given time, and I think there's 4,000 people playing.
Yeah, but
professional
there's
baseball.
certain cities I don't think should have franchises.
Which
that-
ones?
Plenty of cities.
Jacksonville?
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Orlando.
probably. Orlando shouldn't have a team.
With the Magic.
Sacramento?
The Magic don't
Sacramento?
deserve to be a team.
No. Send the Magic anywhere else.
Yeah, Sacramento.
But there's
Thunder,
probably
Oklahoma
But there's
City.
there's a market for
Charlotte.
the game
Charlotte.
though. Like minor league
keep Charlotte.
Minor league
Charlotte
baseball
sucks.
sells out on a regular basis. Like if you're in a city that's done well, like Round Rock Express, for example, which are owned by I think it's owned by Nolan Ryan.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
But they sell out every fucking game, and it's bullshit baseball, man. I mean, it's just you could see the same level. Like some of these minor league games, the ones that I grew up watching in Greenville for the Greenville Braves, right? I could have watched that same level of talent at fucking high school, to be honest.
But like
Right.
the Angels shouldn't exist.
Yeah, Anaheim? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you've already got the Dodgers.
You have the
there.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the Angels.
Yeah, get them the fuck out of Orange County.
yeah, but the
exactly.
Angels' problem is not the level of talent. They've got
The literal 2 best
yeah,
players.
they have the 2 best players in baseball.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just the market sucks. So how do you deal with that?
I'm saying get rid of these terrible market teams.
Yeah.
Or move them somewhere else.
Yeah, but
No,
there's,
shrink it.
There's not enough teams for the amount of baseball players there are. Baseball does not have that problem. As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, they're growing. They if anybody could justify expanding teams, it would be baseball. They just don't have the markets to do it.
Any team in St. Louis get rid
You'd
of.
have to go Mexico City, and more Canadian teams.
Or
Probably,
or basically you'd have to cut into like Braves country. You'd have to put a team in like Nashville or Charlotte.
or Alabama or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
I guess.
Stop adding teams.
Yeah, stop adding teams. Breaking news, by the way. Brock Purdy suffered a torn UCL.
Oh, it's torn. Fuck, man.
6 months he's going
Yeah.
to be out. This is definitely going to push a Rodgers, Brady, Sitch to San Francisco.
Do you bring them back though?
Yes. I bring him back. Here's the thing. Here's why.
QB of the future.
Yes. And he's 23 years old. Why not sit behind one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, learn, and then you're a starter by 25?
Yeah, and come back. Don't rush the comeback.
Yes. Don't rush the surgery, all of
take
it.
a rental because-
You're the guy. You're going to be the guy for the future. Sit behind one of the best of all time, win
Right.
a couple Super Bowls, learn how to win. I think
And I'm sure like Rodgers or Brady would really want to mentor.
Even if they
younger
don't,
Purdy.
you could just be there and
I
just
think
fucking-
Rodgers would if he had a chance to win Super Bowls.
I do too.
Yeah. Also, how much did
With no
Brett
threat.
Favre mentor Aaron
Zero.
Rodgers?
And
Yeah.
it's funny
They didn't even
though.
talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's funny though because he's just going to repeat the past.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a
They'll
different.
switch roles.
You repeat
This
the
is a-
cycle of abuse.
This is a
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
This is a different Aaron Rodgers now. I think it's more likely that he takes him to fucking Peru and does ayahuasca.
yeah.
Fucks him up for a couple of years.
I
You
don't
know
want
what I mean?
that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's San Francisco going to trade?
What do you mean?
So
To
they
get
don't,
Aaron Rodgers? Like you're not. There's not going to be a cut. That's not happening.
right.
It's too
They,
much
they would
dead
have to
cap
trade for
space.
Aaron Rodgers, but they could sign Brady.
Yes,
Correct,
and
yeah.
so over the weekend, I don't know if you heard, the Packers said they want to get rid of Aaron Rodgers because of financially it's dragging down their franchise, which I said this a million times
You
on
make
the
the
show.
money work.
They want to start
Packers
a rebuild.
fans were pissed.
They want to start a rebuild.
I agree.
And as well they should. They should have traded him this year. They shouldn't have signed that long-term deal with him in the fucking
so
first
I
place.
think they'll take 2 firsts. and then just take that
I
contract.
wouldn't trade 2 firsts for him.
Yeah, how many years are you getting out of Rodgers?
Maybe
A
1,
year?
maybe 2. 1 for sure, maybe 2.
If it's the 49ers, though, I think you do it.
You got to send Trey Lance in exchange for one of those picks or something.
You can cut Trey Lance. Who cares?
Yeah,
him,
you
yeah.
you
You
can.
don't
I'm
need
just saying, like I wouldn't give him 2 first rounds for that. Fuck that.
Yeah, too unstable.
But with this breaking news, I think that forces the issue now.
Yeah, they got to do something for sure. Even if it's bringing back Garoppolo, which that would be a mistake too. I think Garoppolo's going to fucking New England.
I'll let him go. If you
Yeah.
can get Rodgers or Brady, go ahead.
Let Jimmy go. Keep Purdy on the back
Yep.
burner.
Yep. Purdy had flashes of talent.
Let me ask you this: if Brady went to San Francisco and Shanahan made it to the Super Bowl with him and still found a way to fuck it up, would that make it up to you at all?
Yes, as I hate Shanahan. All of it. Watching him lose. Now, I didn't want to see him lose like that, but I wanted to see it like a bad clock management or not running the ball in the fourth quarter to the Eagles. I wanted it bad, but I also wanted the Super Bowl too.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to lose in the Super Bowl to Mahomes, so that way he just kept losing Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
Now, what if he ends up back in Atlanta?
Shanahan?
That'll never happen.
Never happen.
You don't think so?
Nope.
No
Well,
way.
at a certain point, even
Nope.
the most successful coach, like an Andy Reid, right? Philadelphia for 14 years. 14 wonderful years. It still runs thin. Sometimes you need a change of face, change of scenery. We fired Andy. He obviously has success immediately in Kansas City.
But he has success because of Mahomes.
No, he had
was winning
success
before
without
Mahomes.
Smith.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but as far as getting over the hump,
Yeah.
finally winning,
But he drafted Mahomes.
right. So I don't know that Shanahan's the dude who goes out and drafts people. I don't know that I don't know that he's anything more than an offensive coordinator.
I mean, he's the greatest offensive mind in the game of football.
He is, but do we just put him as an OC?
No.
Should he be the coach?
He should be a
should
coach
be the head
because
coach.
there's 2 things the NFL doesn't have 32 of, and it's quarterbacks and coaches.
Yes.
He is even if you don't think he's a good head coach or he's a better OC than a head coach, he's still like a top 10 coach in the league
He's
because
top 5.
most of these people are fucking morons.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it is the case. We know for a fact that being a good coordinator doesn't mean you're going to be a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the best managers in business have no fucking idea about the subject matter they're managing. They're managing people.
People.
You know, and it matters to be able to manage people. And look, that's why I think a lot of teams have been going with some of these younger hires over the last 6-7 years. Because
Well, it's better than the old way that they would hire, just a retread or
you mean Lovie Smith?
like Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
But it's like I still think they're fucking up by hiring new. They're trying something different, which is good. And the data,
It's an overcorrection.
Yeah,
almost,
the data on that is interesting. I mean, Kellen Moore has been pretty good as the coordinator for the Cowboys. I think he underperforms, but Sean McVay's had success. These young guys are having success, but it's not because they're young. It's because they think differently, right? They're managing people and not trying to move X's and O's around. That's my opinion.
And I mean, Cliff was way over his head in Arizona.
Yeah.
Where does
100%.
Cliff end up?
I guess Thailand. Yeah.
Thai prison.
Yeah.
I mean, he
An
may
opium
go,
den?
He
I don't know.
he may go to fucking the Cowboys. Jerry Jones signing him to be the OC and having the 2 best coordinators in football would not surprise me at all, right? Even if you paid him fucking $10 million a year. For
Or he goes to
coordinator.
Bama as like a offensive analyst.
Yeah. Bama needs an OC.
Do they?
How's he on
Yeah.
camera?
Yeah, because Bill O'Brien's gone.
Yeah.
Who?
Kingsbury.
Great.
He's good on camera.
Yeah, he's good.
Maybe he goes to the booth.
I mean, he's a beautiful man.
Yeah.
We need more. The last 2 rounds of the playoffs, especially the last round, taught me that here's another thing we can't staff is the fucking NFL booth.
Holy shit.
His house is so soulless.
There's
though.
2 pretty good crews, and the rest are fucking. It's like, who is this jabroni talking to me right now?
He has terrible taste. He just has his giant, just window-filled house.
Hang on. Bob and I can tell you this. A house is chosen by the wife, and we just sign off on it.
He's not married, is he?
I think
I think
is.
Cliff's a bachelor.
Is
Like he dates around.
If-
Then he just
if
had
not-
someone buy it.
Yeah, then he had somebody buy it.
Yeah, he's just like, what will women like? Because I remember on draft day, he's just sitting by himself in his house, and it was just
His girlfriend's name
Very-
is Veronica Bielik, and
Yeah.
she's 20-something years
Yeah.
old.
She just gave an update from Thailand.
Really?
Yeah, she's in Thailand with him.
they're not coming back.
Don't know why. Don't know.
Why would you? He's rich.
Yeah, I mean, fuck. And he's still going to be wanted. Like if he doesn't come back to Thailand to America for 5 years, he'll get hired the next
He's
day.
only failed up.
Jesus Christ.
He is the most successful, I think, failing upwards.
Oh, boy. Giorgio, if you could see the
Coach
picture of
in
his girlfriend.
all of football.
He should never come back.
Yeah,
I get
just
it.
stay on the
Yeah,
beach.
'cause stay there. No need for this bullshit. Stay
He's-
there. You're good.
Yeah, he's
Sorry,
he's
Cliff.
knockoff Ryan Gosling. Like,
Sorry, Cliff. I apologize. Holy
do
shit.
whatever you need to.
Jesus Christ, that was impressive.
do you think we should send Eli to try to find him because they're both in Thailand right now?
Yeah, send him on a mission.
Well, it's not very big, right?
No,
you
it's
could
a
probably
small
find
island.
him. Yeah.
It's big enough.
Is it?
Yeah, man. There's like fucking 20 million people there.
Also, every time Eli has to stop.
I'm sorry,
to-
there's 71 million people there.
Holy shit.
We're gonna see Cliff Kingsbury come back with like a golden cricket shirt and
I love it.
Hepatitis.
harem of
probably.
ladyboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun show today, kids. Bet with us or against us on mybookie.com. Make sure to use that promo code Drinkin Bros to double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. And please go to iTunes and rate and review the show a 5-star. It's all the advertisers care about. The advertisers put the fucking show on the air. So please do that and then head on over to Spotify and just click a 5-star and then walk away. Plenty to discuss for the next 2 weeks heading up to the Super Bowl. Quick reminder, we will be live from Arizona starting next Monday. We'll be there for the entire week and then at the Waste Management tour on Saturday. So if you're getting tickets to that event, we are going to Saturday's day. Who won golf this week? Was it Rory?
Max Homa.
Really?
Max Homa won for the I believe 5th time since 2021, so
Yeah.
he's on a little bit of a heater.
Nice.
Starting to find his game. So he's the California kid, probably going to be one of the favorites at the U.S. Open this year, which is at LA Country Club.
Okay.
Which is where he has the course record there.
Great. And then Golf Show will be back up on Wednesday this week, right? They're back to Sunday finishes.
It's Pebble, so
Okay.
it'll be a Sunday finish. It's just a weird week at Torrey Pines, but yeah. We'll get back on schedule. Try to pick a winner for you guys. I am in desperate need of it, so don't worry.
We all are. We all are. It's not just you. I had a terrible weekend as well, and I'm not gonna. I won't hide from it. You see the receipts on Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Sign up if you want to see all of our bets on there. It is free on Facebook. Just a private group. Don't report anything. Don't be an asshole. That's the only rules there. For D'Anthony Holloway, Delco Dan, Hot Bob, Papa Giorgio, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Monday Morning Recap. Good morning, everyone.